Let's go ahead with the most important skills in English, the four skills of listening, speaking, reading, and writing. How are all these connected? Of course, listening helps us in speaking. Speaking helps in connecting with the world outside. Reading helps in developing vocabulary and sentence formation, and of course, adds to knowledge. Writing is one skill which helps in the overall enhancement of language skills. All these skills are put to test during competitive exams. So, we can say that the four skills of LSRW are interconnected. Let's come to speaking. We've understood what is accent, but what is diction? Diction again is really very important. Diction is clarity, the clarity of speech and choosing the correct word to express something that we need to say or we want to say. So, the word also should fit properly in terms of appearance of the word or the sound that it makes, and of course, meaning. So, when we choose correct words and when we speak clearly, what happens is the other person understands us even better. So, for instance, in figure number 1, this person says, "This plan is pathetic." Now, the lady is offended because he didn't choose a good word. So she says, "Don't forget who you are, young man." Now, the man says, "This plan is suboptimal." Now, this lady says, "Better. Please keep your diction appropriate." This means she said, please use good words. Please use correct words. Likewise, the other figure says, "Are you afraid of the dark?" She doesn't understand what the other person is saying. She thinks he's saying duck. So she says, "What duck?" "Not duck, duck." Now, the lady is again confused. If the man is saying duck for dark, well, she says, "Your diction is awful." Now, the man is committing mistakes in pronunciation. So, let's create a clear tone, clear diction, a certain tone that supports some purpose which is intended. Let us support the setting. Let us establish a narrative voice and tone. So, if I have to narrate something, let me not say it in plain terms. We all must use correct voice and correct tone and speak with clarity. Let us try and understand how reading helps us. Reading helps us a great deal. It helps us because it is very good for mental stimulation. It reduces stress. And indeed, it helps us in adding to our vocabulary. Reading also plays a great role in having better concentration and focus. 30 minutes or 20 minutes of reading every day adds to better concentration. We must read. Reading also helps us in getting better writing skills. We can be a good writer if we do reading every day. Let's not forget that. So, what should we read? We should read short stories. Let's begin with children's literature. Let's begin with very small stories to go with. Of course, we can read newspapers, magazines, and online material like blogs. That's going to help us a great deal. As I said, we should do reading because it helps in cognitive mental stimulation. This means our understanding of things around us gets better with reading. Our knowledge also increases. And we are stress free. Reading is a stress buster. Not just focus but also improves and strengthens memory. And it increases writing abilities. Of course, it helps us in reading also. So, what kind of reading should we do and what are the types of reading? Sometimes, when we get a piece of paper to read, what we do is we just do skimming. This means we just quickly go through what it is. So when we read a headline in a newspaper, we just quickly go through what it is. That is needed. However, if we need to find something particularly, we do something called as focused scanning. Now this means finding a particular piece of information. So we have to go read it in great detail. That is scanning. Then we read to understand meaning. For instance, when we read newspapers, many times we have to read one article many times. But that's okay, because that's going to help you understand how language is used in that particular article. Also, it helps us to gather more words. Sometimes we do word by word reading, which means we do slow reading word by word. That also helps us to understand words better. Sometimes we do fast reading. Fast reading is an ideal tool to remember things. And reading for pleasure. Many times we just pick up a book and read for pleasure. Even that's good, because finally it's all about reading, isn't it? Of course, the benefits of listening are very many. So let us just sum up. What is listening? Listening is a critical tool and it is a very big skill. Learning becomes better with listening. Conversations turn out very meaningful, of course. For that, we need to understand what are the types of listening. Well, there are many types of listening, but the most relevant for us are active listening. This means we need to pay attention to what is being said or what is being played on TV or on radio. We need to have empathy with the speaker and we need to be there by spirit. This means that we need to be deeply in concentration and in synchronization with what is being said. Listening actually means active attention. Many times we just ignore or we selectively listen to things. That is not going to help us in learning new things. We must appreciate what is being said. Also, we must show empathy to what the speaker is saying, and we must try and comprehend, which means we must try and understand the complete meaning of what is being said, and of course also be able to review or give a critical assessment of what is being said. Now that is what is response. This brings us to what is active listening. It is sensing what is being said, and second point is evaluating what is being said, and the third and the most important is to be able to respond to the speaker. So the types of listening that really matter to us are active listening, not passive listening. Thus, we come to the end of this section. The benefits of listening, and what are they? We can gather critical facts before making decisions if we are a good listener. So, we listen to everything. We don't hurry up to pass judgment. We avoid unimportant conversation. This means we avoid trifling conversation. We listen to everything and then, if need be, we raise a question. Active listeners have more interpersonal relationships. If we want better friendships, if we want better relationships, we must listen to people. Listen, try and understand. And have an empathy. Of course, we can learn any language if we have the ability to listen. Listen carefully and then try to express. The benefits of listening, dear friends, are many. One skill that we have not discussed in this section is writing. We keep it aside because writing by itself is a mega skill. We come to that later down in the series. As of now, be a good listener, be a good speaker, and be a good reader. Thank you.